Hello and welcome to Wednesday Live with Evie, number 24. Today's topic is vacation and your business. And I would love to know what is keeping you from taking vacation? What's holding you up? So, my name is Evie Burke, and I work with entrepreneurs just like you, and I help them take their productivity to a new level. And as I said, today's topic is vacations and your business. And before I jump into that, I just want to share that I have a course coming up. It begins on June 22nd. And it is called Take Your Productivity to a New Level, a 4-week productivity mastery course. And if you are someone who really loves what you do, but you're feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on in your business and all the things you have to do, then I invite you to take a look at this course. I invite you to join us for this course. It could be exactly what you're looking for. If you are somebody who is ready not just to get those urgent tasks done, not just put out all the fires, but actually start making progress on your goals and get some of the important things done in your business, then this program might be just what you're looking for. And if you are someone who wants to have time in your life, not only for your business, but the things that you love to do, things like maybe take a vacation, then this course might be just what you're looking for. I am going to include the link for it as soon as my computer decides to wake up here in the comments below. Again, it's called Take Your Productivity to a New Level. And it's a 4-week productivity mastery course. Let's see, if I refresh this, then it should pop up here. Here we go. So there's that, and I'm just going to share it. So again, if you're just joining me, share why you're interested in this topic and what's holding you back from taking or scheduling a vacation or even a day off. I know sometimes taking days off is scary. We have all these things that need to get done, and if I take a day off, how are they going to get done? I shared in to my newsletter people on Tuesday that I had, here we go, I had this happening for me where my husband has an appointment a couple of hours away on Monday afternoon. Everything's fine. It's a dentist appointment. We go to the dentist far away. And when I went, and we make it a family affair, and his parents went too, I took his parents out to the dentist. He couldn't make it because he had other things that he was doing that day, other responsibilities. So his appointment is now on this coming Monday. And he said, hey, why don't you come out with me and, just keep me company and spend the afternoon with me. And part of me is like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun. And then another part of me was like, but I have things that need to get done in my business. Like I have goals that I want to reach and things that are happening and I can't take an afternoon off. And then as I was thinking about this week's topic, I just laughed at myself because of course I can take the afternoon off. I took this Monday afternoon off basically because I had a headache and nothing was getting done and everything survived, right? Things are still getting done on my to-do list. So let's talk about vacation. So to start, I want you to think about, have you ever worked for somebody else? Have you ever had a job where you had 2 weeks or more of vacation that you could take? And most jobs will have it where you can only roll over so many days every year or you lose them. So you have an incentive at the beginning of the year to start thinking about, what vacation am I going to take this week? Where am I going to go? Or this year, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And you take your vacation, right? But in our businesses, we don't do that. So when we're working for someone else and we have to take vacation and you're getting ready for that week that you're going to be gone, or 2 weeks or whatever it is, there's things that you do, right? You set aside some extra time. If you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes. You set aside some extra time so that you can get all of the little pieces that you might still have out there wrapped up, finish up some projects that are really close to being finished, circle back and finish that conversation that's been hanging out there for a couple of days. All those loose ends, you start to get them tied up so that they're done when you go on vacation, and they're not going to be there when you come back. You let the people that you work with and anybody who's affected know that you're going to be gone, and let them know what information they need to know. If somebody is taking on some of your responsibilities for that time, you sit down and you share with them what they need to know and how to get a hold of you if there's an emergency or they need something, right? And all those little things that you would do when you were in a job working for somebody else and you were going on vacation. And do you know what all of that is? All of that is a system. There is a system that either the company or the people that you worked for, or that maybe you put together for yourself, that allowed you to take a step back, allowed you to have the responsibilities be on someone else for a little while, or let you hit the pause button on projects so that you could leave. And that's normal, and it's good for everybody involved, right? To take vacation, to step away. But if I were to ask you, what kind of a system do you have for taking vacation in your business? What do you do before you leave for business to keep your business running? Some of you would probably just laugh at me and say, I don't take vacation. My business doesn't run without me. I am my business. It doesn't go if I'm not here. So what I want to talk about today is some of those things that you can do where, like for me, I'm a coach. And yes, if I'm on vacation, coaching my clients isn't going to happen. I'm not probably going to be super available via email or text message if they need something, but I can let them know, ahead of time that that's happening. And my business doesn't stop because I can still send out emails. I can schedule social media posts. There's lots of things that can happen so people don't forget about me, and my business is still running while I'm not sitting in my office, checking my email or talking to clients or, doing the things that I normally do. So let's talk about, just to switch my notes, flip my notes over here. Let's talk about what are those things to think about. What are those things that you should do? I'm moving the camera because I have my notes smushed under the tripod so I can easily read them. So the first thing to do is decide if you're going to work on vacation. I would highly recommend not working on vacation, letting work and your business be on its own for a little bit and you just be on vacation. It's actually been a while since I went on this vacation. I have had other vacations where I haven't done work, but probably about 5 years ago, 5 years? Yeah, 5 years ago, I went on vacation with my in-laws. Like the whole family went, and it was a 2-week Alaskan vacation where we did a land tour and a cruise at the end. And a lot of times there wasn't internet available. If you were on the cruise, you were not sure exactly where you were, where if you connected up with your phone, what those charges were going to be. And so it kind of forced me to unplug. And it also showed me that I could do that my business wouldn't fall down around itself if I was gone for a week or two. I just set things up like I'm going to talk about here so that things worked the way I wanted them to. So first of all, as I said, decide if you're going to work it or not. Preferably not, but if you decide that, there's a couple of things that I want to get done, whatever your list is for what needs to get done or how much time you're trying to spend, divide it in two. And I say that for two reasons. One is, sometimes when you're on vacation, the amount of time you think you're going to have to get something done isn't actually there. Something else comes up, there's some other opportunity that happens, someone else that you're on vacation with, whether it's a spouse or a child, has different expectations than you do about how much time you're going to be spending doing something. So make sure that you either set those expectations, but also don't try to do too much work. Just cut that time that you think you're going to be spending doing work in half. You really, on vacation, unless it's a vacation where it's specifically worked in, like you know that you are spending this afternoon and everybody else knows that, that afternoon is spent, doing XYZ, that's fine. But try to just be on vacation. Try just to enjoy yourself. And so the other reason to cut that time in half, or whatever those projects are in half, is you might find you actually enjoy vacation and you enjoy spending a little bit of time away from your vacation or away from your business. So don't try to force too much business into your vacation. Sometimes it's going to come up. Sometimes you're going to be, doing something fun and you're going to have an idea that you're like, oh, I could do this in my business, or I could handle this situation that way. Yeah, by all means, take some notes on it, write it down so you can develop it more later, but don't make that your entire trip. So, the second thing to do is let your clients know you're going to be out of the office. That doesn't mean you have to tell them, oh, I'm going, on vacation to Aruba for 2 weeks, or that I'm spending the week with my sister and I'm helping her with her new kid. I'm making that one up. My sister's not married and doesn't have a kid. But, you don't have to share all of the details if you don't want to. So just share that you're going to be out of the office with your clients or anybody who's going to need to know that information. And that sharing that information can be a quick phone call with a follow-up email with all of the details, just so that they have it for quick reference, or it might just be an email. It just depends on your relationship with the clients. Mary had said here that she's not a frugal traveler, or a frugal packer rather. She tends to overpack every time she travels. But when she's vacationing from work, it means she can leave her laptop at home, and that can be really helpful. Excuse me. And then Heather says, I don't think I've ever left my laptop at home. So this is a good thing to talk about the different type of businesses too. So Mary has a business where people don't expect her to return phone calls within a half hour. Heather, I believe you are a realtor, and people expect their realtor to call them back, right? They expect to hear back quickly from questions, or if they see a house they want to see. They're expecting very quick communications. So sometimes how we schedule our vacation depends on the type of business we have too. So I'm not an expert with realtors, but I'm guessing that, like I said, they're expecting you to get back to them fairly quickly, regardless of whatever else you have going on. So your vacations probably look a little different than my vacations just because of that. So sometimes it could be, boundaries with vacations where you're going to be gone for this day or this week, and if you're not going to be available, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, if you're in a business where your clients, we're talking about it now, if you're in a business where your clients need to get a hold of you, then what's the procedure for that? And just letting them know, I'm not available, you can contact this person if you have any questions, and maybe that person has your emergency contact information, so if you need to be interrupted, then they know how to get a hold of you. For someone like me and Mary, it could be, feel free to email us, but know that we're not going to get back to you until a couple of days after we get back, or the day after we get back, or whatever it is. So again, let your clients know that you're going to be out of the office. Let them know how to handle things that come up, like if they need to get a hold of you, what they can expect, or who they need to reach out to. The third tip here is tie up loose ends. You leave on, especially vacation, you you want to set a couple hours aside to tie up any projects or tasks that are almost done but not quite. You know, any of those things that if you gave them about 15 minutes, you could get them finished up. Set about 2 hours aside or so, just so that you can start to get those things wrapped up. You know, finish that correspondence with that person, finish that project up quick, so that they're not on your plate when you come back from vacation. Because they're going to take you longer when you get back out from vacation, because it's not going to be fresh in your mind. You're going to have to remember, okay, what was going on with that? So by the time you remember all of the details going into it, if it's a 15-minute task, you could have had it done before vacation. So tie up all those loose ends. Decide what can wait until you get back. So I know for me, if I'm going to be gone for any long period of time, suddenly I'm thinking of projects that have been on the back burner that I want done so that I don't have to think about them later. But they're projects that require, or tasks that require a lot of time. And before I leave for vacation just isn't the right time to do those. So make a list of those things. These are the things that I want to get done, but I'm not going to get them done. This isn't the right time to do them. And then you can revisit those when you get back from vacation. What else? What's the next one? If you do a newsletter or regular social media posts, schedule as much of that beforehand as possible. If you have a VA, get to them what they need in advance so that they can, look it over and get any questions answered before they send it out. So if you're leaving on Saturday, don't send your VA stuff on Friday. Send her stuff earlier or him stuff earlier so that they have time to review it and ask you any questions before you're out of pocket. Set your out of office reply. So, on your email, I think every email client now has this. Set it so that it says, hey, I'm out of the office. I'll be back. You don't even have to say when you're going to be back. Just say, I expect to, how did I put this? I'll let them know when they can expect a reply back. So, hey, I'm out of the office until June whatever. You can expect a reply back from me on the 16th. Or, hey, I'm out of the office right now. You can expect a reply back from me on June 16th. However you want to word that, just so that they know you're out of town, but they also have an idea when they can expect to hear from you again. And update your voicemail. So this is one of those things I think sometimes we forget. Update your voicemail to say, I'm out of the office right now. I will return any messages on this date. If emails get preference, let them know that you'll be checking your email first and, to maybe email you with whatever the correspondence is, just so that you have a little, if that's your preferred method, just letting them know what your preferred method is of contact. And so that's all the stuff you're planning for before you leave. Now, before you leave, you're also planning for things for when you get back. So set aside some time when you get back to check your email, check your voicemail, respond to people. And depending on what your correspondence rate is in your business, like how many things you get in, that might be something you just set an hour or two aside for, or it might be something you set most of the day aside for to get back to people. You know your business, you know how that's probably going to go for you. And then plan out the first couple of days. So if you know like the first day is just going to be responding to your voicemail, then you're going to want to, when you're coming back into sorry, I was reading Mary's comment. We're going to get to that in a minute, Mary. Plan your first couple of days. So that first day when you get back, if you're responding to emails and voicemails, then the second day, write down what are a couple of the projects that you need to be working on or tasks that you want to dive into. And this doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it really is. you want to have those things planned out. When I was talking about the Alaskan vacation I went on about 5 years ago, I didn't have those first 2 days or anything planned out. And my plan was to plan that week when I was on the airplane on the way home. I was tired from vacation on the way home. So on the airplane, I slept, I read, and I talked to my husband. Those were the only 3 things that happened on that airplane. There was no planning whatsoever because I was tired. I was ready to be home. So when I came back into my business, I got the newsletter out, I caught up on email, I returned phone calls, and not a lot else happened because I hadn't planned what I was going to do. I didn't have a way to really jump back into my business because I had done a good job of tying up all my loose ends. I didn't have anything that was really out there that had to be worked on, and I hadn't planned anything for myself. Some of you might not have that problem. For me, I know that I needed just to have that outline. These are the things that I'm working toward, and I hadn't done that for myself, and I wasn't sitting down to create that. So it's super important to do that. Yeah. So those are the things to do before you leave. So just to quickly highlight them, decide if you're going to do any work or how accessible you're going to be before you leave. Let your clients know that you're going to be out of the office. Tie up any loose ends that you have. Decide what can wait until you get back. Don't try to get everything done right away. Write and schedule your newsletter or social media in advance and have that all scheduled for while you're gone. Set your out of office email reply, update your voicemail message, set time aside for replies and phone calls when you return back into the office, and plan out the first couple of days or the week that you get back into the office. So that's what you want to do before you go on vacation. When you get, while you're on vacation, you want to do exactly what you said you were going to do. You want to enjoy your vacation. So don't do any more work than you need to, and enjoy your vacation. Have fun. That's what vacation's for. Now, when you get back for vacation, stick to your plan. Make the phone calls, stick to whatever plan you had made before you left. Remember to turn off the email autoresponder. Remember to change your voicemail message back to whatever it normally is. It always makes me chuckle when I call somebody and I get a voicemail and they have an out of office message from 3 months ago because they have forgotten to change it back. So the last thing here is when you get back, as much as possible, return to the routines that worked for you before you left. Vacations can have a wonderful way of interrupting us, which can be good because it can give us new ideas and new thoughts. It refreshes us when we come back into our business. But sometimes one of the other things it does is we forget the things that really worked well for us before we left, and we don't do them. So remember what the habits are that worked for you before you left and start doing those again. If you're feeling ambitious, change a habit. If you know something didn't work for you, this is also a good time to switch that up. So let's see. Anything that you guys would add that would make your vacations more successful, or any questions that you have? I see Mary had commented about doing the voicemail. Oh, she says, I'll be returning from vacation 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Mary, I've actually seen them, or heard them rather, where it's been, 2 or 3 months ago, and they haven't updated them, which cracks me up. So, all right, I don't see any comments or questions. So, if you are not, for those of you who are watching the recording, still comment, let me know what was the tip that I shared that you hadn't thought of, and what are the things that you would add, whether they're specific to your business or in general, what are the things that you would add to have a successful vacation away from your business? So my name is Evie Burke. Again, I want to invite you to the Take Your Productivity to a New Level, the 4-week productivity mastery course. It is shaping up to be a really great program with some really great people in it, and I would love to have you join us, especially if this is something that is a good fit for you. So again, if you are somebody who is so lost in the day-to-day of your business that you can't imagine taking a vacation, this course will help you get things under control and really start to be able to dream about, okay, what are the things that I want to do and how do I want to grow my business? And it will allow you to do things like take vacation if you're afraid of taking vacation, because you'll have that plan mapped out and taking vacation can be part of your plan. So you can find that at the link that I shared earlier. It's oneinsightcloser.com/TPNL. And I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anything. I don't think I have. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see you here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Much love. Bye.